Well, let's get the spotlight on the realty sector now. According to Kotak Securities, residential real estate sector has scaled to new highs in FY24, touching a lifetime high of 1.1 billion square feet. To discuss more on this sector, Pankaj Kumar, Vice President Research at Kotak Securities, joins in. Pankaj, thanks a lot for joining in. You know, you don't need all of this data to tell you the kind of boom in the real estate space, right? Just one look outside in Mumbai and you realize, I mean, with the kind of skyscrapers that are hitting the streets. But tell me a little bit more about the numbers. What are the numbers now in the residential real estate space compared to what it was a year ago? And how sustainable do you think these numbers are?
Good morning, Sonia. So, as you rightly pointed out, there's a boom in the real estate sector that we have seen. And FY24 numbers, if you look at overall for the sector, has grown at 20% on a YY basis. And it is roughly 1.1 billion square feet. Even for the larger players, if you see the listed companies, they have grown well. Most of the large companies has grown at even more than 20%. And for the guidance, if you see FY25 guidance as such, most of these companies are guiding for double-digit growth in pre-sales. So demand continues to remain strong. There are multiple factors. If you look at the industry, it's consolidating, and that theme is continuing. And if you look at the inventory, so inventory in the system is still 1.3x of trailing 12-month pre-sales. So that's also on the lower side. And the launch pipeline for most of these companies continues to remain strong. So we continue to see healthy volume growth as well as the value growth in the coming year.
What's been the price increase that we've seen so far in Q1, April to June? And if you could just break it up, market, at least geographically.
So if you look at the volume price increase, that's been healthy. In fact, for FY24, it's a 11% price increase that we have seen. But price increase is largely driven by your inflation as well as some minor increase in the prices that we see. So it's not that substantially high, but there's a demand that's continuing, and moderate price increase is supporting that.
Okay. So this lifetime high, all India residential sales lifetime high of 1.1 billion square feet. Going forward, can you just break it up for us into geographies? Where do you see the maximum traction coming from now in terms of residential sales over the next, say, 12 to 18 months?
So if you look at the listed players who are guiding for a very strong growth, say 20%, most of these companies are located in the large metros particularly. And we have seen the south-based, Bangalore-based companies or even Mumbai-based companies are guiding for a healthy growth of 20% plus kind of numbers in FY25. NCR, to some extent, we have seen 15% kind of growth, what the DLF has guided. So you can get a sense like how the year looks like.
How are the valuations of the companies that you track? How does it compare with, say, a 3-year average or a 5-year average? And where is it that you're most comfortable in terms of valuation?
So, as you rightly pointed, the valuations for these most of the listed companies currently is in a range of 7 to 12 times on a forward EV to EBITDA on a pre-sales number on FY26 estimates. So, 3 years ago, these numbers were on the lower side, say 4 to 6x. So that has come up in the higher band now. So that shows that there is optimism, of course, and the numbers are also supporting, because the growth rates that we were estimating 3 years back were not that what we are estimating now. Even the companies are launching to that extent and selling also. So the valuation itself reflects the growth that we are estimating.
Is there a risk of oversupply in any of the micro markets? Because there's been so much construction activity happening. We see that in Mumbai, particularly in this whole Lower Parel area. So, is there a risk of oversupply, and could that dampen price increases? You spoke about 11% price hike last year.
So, in terms of overall supply, if you see, of course, there is a supply, but there's a demand which is matching that. Because if you look at the overall inventory in the system, so even for the Mumbai market, it's not that high that we have seen 3-4 years back or even the previous cycle. So it's still in a less than 2 years kind of that's sales numbers, that inventory numbers that we are having as of now. So we are still seeing a good demand. Inventory is not high in the system, and there is a stable price increase as well. So that is supporting that demand.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through the realty sector and what you see as the way forward.